morning and welcome to our thought for the day again this morning. We're going to read from Acts chapter 22 and verse 6 to 16, please. And it came to pass that as I made my journey and was come nigh unto Damascus, about noon, suddenly there shone from heaven a great light round about me. And I fell into the ground, and I heard a voice saying unto me, Saul, Saul, why persecutest thou me? And I answered, Who art thou, Lord? And he said unto me, I am Jesus of Nazareth, whom thou persecutest. And they that were with me saw indeed the light, and were afraid. But they heard not the voice of him that spake to me. And I said, What shall I do? And the Lord said unto me, Arise, and go into Damascus, and there it shall be told thee of all things which are appointed for thee to do. When I could not see for the glory of that light, being led by the hand of them that were with me, I came into Damascus. And when Ananias, a devout man according to the law, having a good report of all the Jews which dwelt there, came unto me and stood and said unto me, Brother Saul, receive thy sight. And the same hour I looked upon him. And he said, The God of our fathers hath chosen thee, that thou shouldest know his will, and see that just one, that thou shouldest hear the voice of his mouth. For thou shalt be his witness unto all men of what thou hast seen and heard. And now why tarriest thou? Arise, and be baptized, and wash away thy sins, calling on the name of the Lord. Oh, I tell you this morning, that passage should excite you and thrill you and encourage you and strengthen you. The passage says Paul was on a journey, and suddenly there shone from heaven a great light. He certainly would never forget that day. And it must be the same in our experience when Christ, the light of the world, shone into our very hearts. The hymn writer puts it like this, Oh, what a wonderful, wonderful day I will never forget. And I thank God that I will never forget that day when I met with Jesus, and Jesus became my lifelong friend, my eternal friend. And he's the one that never leaves me or forsakes me. Here Paul was chosen to see and to hear the Lord speaking, and the impact was felt by all that were around. God help us, for people round about us to feel the impact of our lives that have been saved by Christ. We too in our experience have seen the goodness of Christ, and we need to hear his voice in this day, so that we too will have an impact on all who we come into contact with. We are called to be witnesses. It says so in verse 15, For thou shalt be his witness unto all men of what thou hast seen and heard. God help us to show our light and not to hide it. But we must be sure that we have heard first, or we'll have nothing to tell. We must know the experience of true salvation, of a true Christ living in our heart, if we want to impact others by our living. To witness, to do a personal work for Christ. It says, Thou shalt be. It must be for Christ. The work must be for Christ. Thou shalt be his witness. It's all about him. And it must be all-consuming. For we read in Mark chapter 12 and verse 30 these wonderful words. And it says this, And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, with all thy mind, and with all thy strength. Totally consuming all that we are or ever will be. Our witness must be to all men, young, old, rich and poor, good or bad. God help us to be a witness to the whosoever. What a wonderful privilege is ours, that we have such a message that we're able to tell all men, anywhere, everywhere, that Jesus is the answer to them in their time of need and in this time in which we live. God bless you today. God be with you and encourage you as you go into the day. and God keep you. And I'll see you again, the same time, the same place, tomorrow. God bless.